St. Johns County father is pleading for everyone to buckle their seatbelts after his 18-year-old son was killed in a crash during the night.
Harrison Wilker died when he was thrown from the passenger seat of a car. Driving was his best friend, who was treated at a hospital for minor injuries and released. Channel 4's Nicole Snyder joining us live from St. Augustine with the grieving father's message. Nicole?
Joy, you can still see remnants from this awful crash. Right over here is where it all happened. The driver veered off this road into this fence all the way down here. You can see all of this damage. He overturned before hitting that utility pole, and that passenger was ejected. The father says tonight he is sending a strong message after he found out that his son was not wearing a seatbelt.
He cared about everybody. He cared so much. And he was just a good kid. He didn't get in trouble. He just was a good kid. I was very proud of him.
The only consolation for Rick Wilker tonight is leaning into his faith. It's hard for him to imagine less than 24 hours ago, his teenage son was on his way to work, hugging him goodbye.
He's one of these kids that just had a passion for working, and he liked cars too. He bought and sold cars since he was 16 years old. I think he's had 7 or 8, so he was into performance cars.
But Harrison Wilker wasn't driving early this morning. His friend, 21-year-old Jesse Viva, was behind the wheel when his Porsche Boxer overturned and then crashed into a utility pole.
He was thrown from the car, so he was definitely beat up pretty bad, but we did get to spend a little time with him right after he was pronounced.
Florida Highway Patrol says the 18-year-old wasn't wearing his seatbelt, a harsh reality for the Wilker family.
We went out in the parking lot and we saw the other young man leaving with his parents. He wore his seatbelt.
Rick Wilker says he was helping his son pick a college, but now the father is warning others to always buckle up.
Just please think about it. It's just such a simple thing.
And News4Jax looked into Viva's driving record. He was arrested earlier this month after police say he was pulled over for speeding on A1A. The St. Johns County Sheriff's Office says a deputy found marijuana and drug paraphernalia in the car, and he was charged with possession of both. The arrest report shows he also had an improper license tag. Now, Florida Highway Patrol says alcohol was not a factor in this crash, but this is still under investigation at this time, and charges are pending. For now, reporting live in St. Augustine, Nicole Snyder, Channel 4, the local station.
A day in court for the man accused of orchestrating the murder of a witness in his burglary trial.
Last week, Joe Brenton was murdered at his home. He was slated to testify against Jacorian McCray in that burglary trial. We stopped by the Brenton home, where we found it's been gutted with a huge pile of trash and furniture. This was at the curb and in a dumpster. At the top of the pile, this bullet-ridden door with police evidence markers on it. Channel 4's Scott Johnson has been following this story and joins us now live from the newsroom. Scott?
Joy, despite the fact that Jacorian McCray is facing murder charges for this case, his attorney told the judge they're ready to go to trial next week on a burglary charge. Jacorian McCray stood by his attorney today after the discussion mostly centered around whether the jury for his pending burglary trial may be biased now that the news has hit that he's charged with orchestrating the murder of a key witness in this case, Joe Brenton. Brenton was murdered in his own home last week. Police say the killer was Dakari Maxwell, McCray's stepbrother, and McCray put him up to it to keep him off the witness stand.
We are still prepared to move forward with trial. We would, however, ask at the time that the jury is brought back if the court would engage in an individual inquiry of the juror to know what their exposure may be and if it may affect their ability to be fair and impartial.
I stopped by Joe Brenton's home today to a much different scene than last week. The house was gutted, some trash in a dumpster, the rest at the curb. And on the top of that trash heap, a wood door filled with bullet holes and police evidence markers still affixed to it. So now there's a question of McCray's burglary trial. McCray was facing a hefty sentence if convicted because of this notice filed by prosecutors that he was a habitual felony offender.
If the court makes a determination he's been qualified, then they can enhance his punishment and he could be punished to several decades in prison based upon what he's charged with.
Sheen Nichols is an attorney not affiliated with this case who says McCray's defense lawyer will push for a quick trial with the key witness now dead. He also says there will be more discussions in pretrial about whether McCrae can get an impartial jury with a lot of publicity now on his murder charge.
A judge must make a determination, is what's going on in the press, not only that there's talk, there can always be talk, but is it of such a negative impact against the defendant that it's going to, in essence, taint jurors.
So both sides in the burglary trial will meet Friday to determine if the case can go forward, if they have any jury issues next week. And keep in mind, we've got his burglary issue here. That trial is separate from the murder charge. That trial will be months down the road. Live in the newsroom, Scott Johnson, Channel 4, the local station.
Scott, thanks. New information now from the I-Team about a prominent Florida attorney fighting to save his career. A judge says Christopher Chestnut should not face an emergency suspension by the Florida bar. But it's the Florida Supreme Court that makes the final decision on that disciplinary action. Chestnut is best known for suing Florida A&M University after the hazing death of Robert Champion. Last month, the bar filed an emergency suspension saying Chestnut was causing, quote, great public harm. A Central Florida judge was appointed as referee in the case. He held a trial and determined the evidence did not support an immediate suspension. The state Supreme Court can accept the judge's recommendation or move against it and suspend Chestnut. No time frame is given for when that decision can be made.
Jacksonville police have identified a man shot and killed Sunday night at his apartment on Bay Meadows Road. His name is Akinkule Falawo. He was 46 years old, according to police. Officers responded to the Boxwood condos and found him in the doorway of his apartment with multiple gunshot wounds. He was taken to UF Health where he did die. Police say they do not believe that this shooting in any way was random. Witnesses do say they saw two black males in a small black two-door sports car in the area. If you have any information about this man's death, please call Crime Stoppers 1-866-845-TIPS. Jacksonville police are looking for a man wanted in connection with a grand theft. This happening on the city's north side. On Saturday, August 24th, around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, police say this man stole 3 chainsaws from the Home Depot on Lim Turner Road. The man was last seen entering into the passenger side of a blue Honda SUV. If you recognize anything about him, you're asked to call JSO or Crime Stoppers.
More cops on the street, more roads paved, and better park maintenance. Those are just some of the items approved by the Jacksonville City Council in the new budget. Channel 4's Jim Piggott spoke with the sheriff about it.
The Sheriff's Department makes up the biggest share of the city budget, and part of the budget last night allowed for over $3 million to hire 40 new officers and 40 new community service officers. Where will we see those additional cops? Sheriff Williams told us today that's something they're working on.
It's not going to change really our allocation model. I mean, we still put, we look at a lot of data to decide where we need to put those officers, and we'll continue to do that. What this does is really, again, allow us to put officers in neighborhoods that need it the most.
This is the second year in a row that the sheriff was able to hire new officers. So has it made a difference? He says yes, because crime is down by 5%.
That's a direct reflection of adding these resources to the street, and we hope to improve upon that, as the year goes on.
Those new officers will be in addition to what we already have. JSO is planning to hire 240 more police in the next 20 months to replace those who are retiring or leaving. JSO is also getting something else this year. In the spring, body cameras will be tested, but they did that without really impacting the budget. There are other areas of the city that will see some changes as a result of the budget. Council President Lori Boyer says some money will now go to many areas that have been neglected in the past.
Toward park maintenance, toward repaving of roadways, repairing bridges, and then on the last day of the budget, we were able to add an additional $8 million to that, which we allocated to sidewalk repair.
Jim Piggott, Channel 4, the local station.
We continue to follow breaking news for you. In less than 5 minutes, Jacksonville police will hold a news conference about the search for a missing man. Norris Dale, you see here. His girlfriend was found dead this morning in a Southside apartment. They have a 4-year-old child together, you also see on your screen. That child found safe out of town with a family member. Dale may be traveling in a 2000 silver Mitsubishi Galant with a Maryland license plate. The number on your screen, 1BK9546. If you see this vehicle or that man, call 911 right away. We'll be right back.
I was driving him.
And we're following breaking news, a news conference expected any minute now regarding the search for a missing father whose son was the subject of an Amber Alert today. That 4-year-old boy found safe out of town with a family member.
The reason they're concerned, the boy's mother was found dead in a South